Welcome to the Connie and Lenny Show. I'm Lenny Ledger from Tech Meter Business Solutions, and with us tonight is Connie Marie from CMK Connections. And together we are Grow on Social. GrowOnSocial.com. Maximize your social media experience by utilizing the power of social media platforms. We will talk about all the social media platforms that's available to you and give you strategies and tips as to how to utilize it and funnel it in. We're GrowOnSocial.com. Thank you for the members that have joined us and are tuned in tonight, as well as our CMK Connections. Wicked exciting guests tonight. Looking forward to talking with them. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to play some games with them, a little bit of trivia, and have some fun. Thanks for tuning in. Send in your questions. Our first segment, we're going to talk about small businesses and the best way to strategize using social media. Then we'll talk about what not to do. Miss Margaret Manners, what to do and what not to do when you're on social media. Without any further ado, Connie Marie, CMK Connections. Connie, take it away.
What do we have going on? Well, we are going to, today we're going to be talking about some small business stuff, some information I found that I think could be useful for people to hear about, as well as we'll be talking with Emily about her Instagram and how she got it to 10,000 followers in just a matter of a couple years, which is crazy. And she's got some insights on how she did that. And then we're going to play a little game with Emily and talk some social media. And then we'll have a poll. I think we're going to have a poll, which will be fun. And we have a giveaway with that. So yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
This is our first episode.
This is number
our
one.
First episode.
Yeah, this is number one.
Number one. And we have this open. We'll explain this a couple times in this episode, but we have this open and available to anybody who wants to watch it. Future episodes, though, it's going to be closed down, so only our Grow on Social members can watch our future episodes. And the thing about that is that when I started my business, CMK, I realized working with small businesses that they need a lot of help where social media is concerned. And there's a huge area that's not being addressed when it comes to social media, and that is engagement, right? People just aren't taught how to engage and create an audience online. And so that's where Grow on Social really came from. So I created that so that I could actually use that platform to be able to teach people how to engage online. And it's been a lot of fun. And so it's going to be a place where GrowOnSocial.com, you can go and I'll have different webinars and videos and teaching us how to use different platforms. And we thought this would be a really fun way to have a conversation with local small businesses and influencers like we have today with Emily to help kind of communicate some of the ways that people are utilizing platforms to make them work for them. So yeah, that's kind of what we'll be doing.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I do with Tech Meter, is also do social media management, helping small businesses who are just starting out. I know it's difficult. We're all small business owners that really try to get that foothold out there within social media, helping them at a very reasonable cost just to get that going, to move forward. Because really, if you're not engaging with your audience that's out there, does your business really exist? And that's what we're looking at today. As I just posted something recently about Yellow Pages versus Google, right? What's changed in 30 years? And
a lot.
We used to open up our Yellow Pages. We'd get our Yellow Page, right? Boy, couldn't wait. And you'd look for a plumber. You'd thumb through it and you'd find a plumber. Oh, but then how do you know if he's any good? We don't know. It was a crapshoot. So it was based on word of mouth. So you'd talk to your friend and you'd say, listen, I need a plumber. They'd say, oh, I recommend this guy. He was good to me. Today in social media, we have that ability to go in and look at their ratings. We get to pull the audience, so to speak, and see if he's really reputable or not. right? So
So
that
I noticed we have a question from Colette. She says, what is the best content for the millennials and how do I effectively gain followers that want to see my content? So I think we're going to wait to answer that question, Colette, when Emily's here, because I think that'll be really great to get kind of her feedback, seeing she's kind of a millennial. So before we get to that, I've got an article here off of entrepreneur.com, and they had a survey where successful business owners shared lessons they learned regarding profitability. And so there were two findings. The first one, what does it mean to be in the black? So 84% of responders stated that they achieved profitability within the first 4 years of business. And we know this. I tell all of my clients who are new to business, don't expect to have money coming your way. Expect money to be going out the door versus in the door, especially for those first 3 to 4 years. But surprisingly, 68% reached it in their first year. So that's hopeful, that if you're on the right path and you're doing the right things for your business, you can reach it. 68% of businesses are doing that. So it's worth noting that these levels of profitability varied among 23 of the top industries in America that took part in the survey. While some entrepreneurs in fields such as medical equipment, personal services, and publishing said they had yet to reach profitability, other industries, including advertising, marketing services, architect, engineering, automotive, and banking insurance, reported having reached 100% profitability. So two notable industries, restaurants and retailers, showed more staggered growth on their path to profitability. The reason might be both industries highly competitive and seasonal in nature. And I talk to businesses all the time about you need to know your competition. You can't just be trying to market yourself, right, and put out all of this content and have growth if you're not separating yourself from your competition to make sure that you're, because some industries it's really easy to grow. And in others, you really have that to combat. So whatever the solution, the 4-year factor in entrepreneurship common among our respondents may be helpful for you to compare your business against. So again, if you're new to business and you're like, why am I not making any money? Why don't I have clients? If you're in that first 4 years, you're probably growing at the rate that you need to grow by just, these percentages from the survey. Finding two, what the cost of doing business actually costs. 27% of business that were in their first year at the time of the survey didn't think they'd need to borrow funds, whereas 38% of older companies borrowed in their first year. So we have this conversation about taking money out for your business. When do you take a loan out for your business and when is it the right time? 57% of businesses that were in their first to fourth year of business didn't think they'd need to borrow funds, whereas 29% of older companies borrowed between their first and fourth years. So to me, the percentage is going down the longer you're in business as far as older businesses taking out funds. So it's interesting to me that they do this survey to, see where did the older businesses, established businesses that are now, having some success, what did they do in their first to 4 years? And it's a good thing for us to kind of have in the back of our mind to understand that, it might be, depending on your business and the industry you're in, it might be something you need to consider. Thoughts? No thoughts?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it takes a good 4 years, easily 48 months, just to get a firm hold on it. And a lot of times we come up with ideas that we think are rocking, and then we look at the competition and there's a dozen other people doing the exact same thing. So yes, you really need to find what that niche is what do you do that's different than the other guy? And if you're in an industry that everybody is doing it, there is that one unique trait that you have that the others don't have. So you exploit that. And this is where using social media allows that exploitation of, well, this is what I do, and expand on that. This is what the others aren't doing. So expand on that.
Because you have to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stand out. So that is what I have for small business news today. So we're going to go into our next segment where we're going to talk with Emily Poole, and I just wanted to share some information about her. So this is her Instagram account. She has over 10,000 followers, which is just crazy. And then this is just some of the posts that she's put up. So you can tell by her posts that she's into fitness big time. And I'm excited to have her on and join us shortly to let us know, how she achieved that, how she was able to, and I think it was just in a couple years. We talked to her a little bit ago. I'm going to make sure she's getting this invite. Talked to her just a little bit ago. And it's just been a few years that she actually really started to try and grow that following. And really impressive to me to be able to do that. I mean, I have 700 on Instagram, So, and she's got some really great insight. We're going to play a game with her. So I'm excited to do that with her as soon as we can get her on here.
So yeah, so that's cool. And I'm sure she's trying to tune in right now. Absolutely. I mean, just to blow it up like that, to get to 10,000, and she's so meek. 10,000, please, it's nothing. No, that really is incredible. And it's how you place yourself. It really is. Who are you jumping on board with? Who's your influencers?
Right.
Who would be tagged into that? So, for instance, she does health and fitness, so you get involved with health and fitness. And it's this: if you're a chef, if you're a restaurant, you want to reach out to chefs, Gordon Ramsay, hashtag these people, connect to those people. And it works in every industry. Just find those influencers and connect. And what'll happen is somewhere along the line, whether that key influencer sees it or someone in their downline sees it and says, wow, I really like what you're doing, and they push out to their site, and that's where you start blowing up.
Well, and the thing is that everybody should be, if you're in business and you are sharing your business online, you should be trying to achieve influencer status, because that's really how you're going to get an audience. And I've had people, tell me, they're getting to a certain point where they don't like that, right? They don't like the attention. They don't like being pegged as that person that's seeking attention or what have you. And there she is. And but it's really it's the way to get the attention. So everybody, here is Emily Poole. Looks like she's in her vehicle.
I am.
So we just went through and I introduced you and shared about your 10,000 followers, which is crazy. So, and I believe that you've done that in like a couple of years. So can you share with everybody kind of where you were at, and then, as far as how many followers, and then you really started to use it and then it took off, and then kind of give us a little bit of that background story?
Well, so like how it grew is what you're asking me?
Yeah, because you've used Instagram for a while now, but it really didn't start to take off till a certain point.
Well, yeah, it didn't start taking off until I started posting fitness-related stuff.
Right. And so that was what year? I mean, because what I'm trying to find out is you started at a certain amount of followers, then you really started to ramp it up. And how long did it take you to get from, point A to point B?
It's really kind of funny that you're talking about this, because this guy and I at the gym today, we were talking about how my page kind of blew up. I don't know. It was from ground zero to 5,000 followers. It took a few years, but once I hit 5,000, I jumped from 5,000 to 8,000 super fast within like a couple months, and then 8 to 10 within like a month.
Oh, wow. 8 to 10,000 in a month.
So I feel like it starts to pick up when if other people see that you have a lot of followers, they're going to be more interested in being like, oh, who is this person? And then follow you. And that seems like happened.
That's what I teach, my clients all the time is whether you like it or not, the numbers matter. The numbers matter a lot. Whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what have you, you're going to get more visibility if you actually look like you're talking to more people. More people are going to sit up and listen. So what do you think, what helped you grow? What helped you grow fast? What do you think as far as Instagram and what you posted and how you posted it? What do you think was the activity that really saw the most growth for you?
I would say when I started getting more serious about like what I posted, how I posted it, and how often I posted. So what I posted was I looked at what in my life is interesting to other people, and then I went and looked through other people who post similar things to my stuff, and kind of didn't really copy their style, but kind of copied their style because it was working.
Right.
So like I do fitness posts, so you know the certain ways they take pictures and post it. That and how would be how I laid out my description and my comments. Whereas in like my description, I don't make all of my posts super long and drawn out, and I don't post those corny inspirational quotes. And it's kind of just like, this is what this post is. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I want you to know. Quick and simple, like short and simple with my descriptions, because nobody's gonna sit there and read through your descriptions anyways. Like nobody does that. If I see a long description on someone's pictures, like why bother? You're wasting time typing out that whole description.
Right.
And for my comments, I would always make sure like I added my hashtags. Hashtags are super important. And I guess by those three simple steps that I kind of changed, you can even see through my Instagram, like you go way back to 2017, and my posts are completely like laid out completely different back then than they are now. And I'm consistent with the way I lay out my posts and when I post.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you're hashtagging and you're throwing that in, like how many hashtags are you putting in there, and what are you hashtagging?
I'm putting in as many hashtags as Instagram lets you, and I think it's like 25 or 30 per comment. I think per post, might be per comment. But when I use hashtags, I always post it into the comment section of my photos. That way it doesn't bombard your description of your photo, and then like when you're done, like a week later from posting that picture, you can delete the hashtag, so you can make it seem like you weren't like fishing for likes through hashtags. Which is because I know if I go on someone's page and I see that in the comments they're just listing a whole crap ton of hashtags, it's kind of annoying. So that's why I like doing the little in the comment section trick, because you can just delete that comment and nobody knows it was there, and you still get the likes because it's not like the likes disappear too.
And I don't think people know that they can refresh their posts just by doing that, because you're bringing so
well, it doesn't really work like that. It only works because Instagram specifically, I mean, this is what we're talking about, Instagram, they, in their comment section, or when you post a hashtag to your picture, it, in that hashtag like group of photos, it boosts it to the top. But as your photo's been up for longer, it goes down the list. So even if you took them away and then let's say like a week later you put them back, it's still going to be a picture that you posted a week ago, which is going to be a week ago down in the photos. So it's not going to refresh it.
I say that because I've had posts that I didn't do the comment hashtags, and I went in later and put in the comment hashtags, and I went from like 5 people who saw that post to like over 20. So
I mean, I guess it also depends on what hashtag you're using.
Sure. Well,
if you use something like hashtag like, nobody's going to find that picture.
But I'm saying I'm going from, the 3 that I usually put in my comment to the additional 20.
Right.
So it's just a way for people to understand, because I don't think people understand that, to do the comment. And I think that's huge, because like I said, I just took my post from 5 viewers to over 20, just in that quick change of adding that comment with the hashtags.
Hashtags, I feel like hashtags are the most important way to get likes on your photos on Instagram and get engagement.
How do you know which hashtags to use?
It depends on what you're posting. Like I do fitness stuff, so all my hashtags are fitness related. I know if you Google search like trending hashtags, I'm pretty sure there's generators where you can type in fitness and it'll generate a set of hashtags that you can copy and paste on your photos, which is what I was using for a while.
Right.
Nice. That's a great tip.
And the generators, you can just Google search it, like hashtag generator for Instagram, and it generates what the most popular hashtags for whatever you're looking up. So if you're looking up cats, it does like the most popular hashtags that people look up for cats.
Perfect. And that's
cool.
important, because you don't necessarily, I mean, you're a brand, but not really. You're not like the average business owner that we're going to have watching this, right? And so they're promoting a business, they're promoting a brand, but it's the same thing. You get to actually dictate who's seeing your posts by which hashtags you're using, because that's who you're drawing in. So you need to understand, right, what your
Right.
audience is and what they're looking for, so that you can use the right hashtag for them to find you.
Right.
That's if we're even using hashtag to find people. There's such a learning curve. Because a lot of people, I talked to a lot of business owners that didn't even know that you can, like, go to the search side and look at a whole bunch of different accounts that even the ones that you're not following.
Right.
Like, oh, we can do that. I'm like, yeah. So there's so much to it to understand.
Well, that brings up my second point too. Alongside the hashtags, Instagram has a feature, as well as Twitter, I think Facebook now too, where you can tag your location. So I know that's how a lot of people find other people's pages, is through location. So they can search Oregon, and then if you tag Oregon as your location, your photo's going to pop up. So I know tagging your location and tagging and hashtags are huge for bringing in like a new audience and for new people to find you.
Gotcha. Any other questions, Lenny? I think we should play a game.
I think you're right. I think it should be. I think it is game time. It's
So we got some questions for you for the Instagram influencer. And so this is for anybody who is participating and watching. You can go ahead in the chat and answer these as we go along. And we'll see what we know. So first question is, whose posts appear on the Instagram feed? And you can't look at your phone, so keep looking, or at least you are looking at your phone. You can't search or try to figure it out.
I was trying to scroll up to see the comments.
I would say no cheating.
It's weird on your phone. I'm not cheating. Here, let me Google real quick.
You should know these. So whose posts appear on the Instagram feed?
All of them.
Too. All of them?
All of them.
I'm going to tell you that is not the correct answer that I was given when I created this questionnaire.
So you're wrong.
So
because they all show up. Trending is based off of the likes you get, the impressions you get, and how fast you get them. Okay. I've been on the trending page, and I've seen people I followed.
But I think
people follow me.
This is just your feed. This is just when you open up Instagram and you see your feed and you're scrolling through your feed.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the trending page.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's just people you follow.
Your followers.
And ads.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's people people you are following. Number one.
Yeah.
People you are following. Very good. All right. Number two. How does Instagram order the posts that appear on your Instagram feed? The status of your profile, the date the post was created, the past records, or the number of followers. So how does Instagram order the posts that appear in your feed?
Well, it's supposed to be the date the post was created, but they changed it. And I don't know the algorithm for the change. I want to say it's the status of your profile. I know for sure it's got to be one or two. They keep changing the algorithm and everything.
That's a
I'll see the top post on my Instagram feed be something that was posted like 2 weeks ago.
So if you had to pick which one?
Two.
The date the post was created. Very good. All right. How can someone check the date of a post? So if they're looking at somebody's picture and they want to know when they posted it.
I think it's the top left side. So like around your name.
So upper part.
I don't know. It's around the picture.
It is the bottom of the post shows. So when you see the post, it's usually like right at I think it's like the bottom left-ish. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
How do we zoom photos and videos? So you want to zoom in on a photo or a video.
And you do two fingers and you like pinch it. You like. That's my demonstration.
That's the visual. So number 4.
Yeah.
Pinch using 2 fingers. But the thing is a lot of people use Instagram and they're just starting and they don't know all of this stuff, right? So they're fumbling through it. Why are
they trying to zoom in on people's pictures?
To see detail. Or we're older and we're half blind. That happened.
Yeah, that's it.
When did Instagram become 5 years old?
5 years. I'd say 2017?
2015.
15.
So Instagram's only been around since 2000, which I guess this is 2019. So that's a long time. Isn't that crazy?
Well, you said when it became 5, so 2010 is when it. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's the math? If it turned
You said 5.
2000, if it turned
What was
2000,
the question?
if it turned 5 years in 2015, then it started in 2010.
That's just
Yeah. That's what I said.
Goodness. How many people? Does anybody in the audience want to help us out with this?
It was a calculator.
So Instagram's been around since 2010, which it's not a very long time. And look how
Nope.
you've got 10,000 followers. So it's kind of crazy. The following are photographic filters of Instagram, except which one? With an eyebrow lift.
What are those? Amaro, Early Bird Ink. Oh, like filters.
Yeah. Now we're getting into the deep questions here.
Brannon. Brannon doesn't sound right. No, ink. I'm going with ink.
You going with
Shoot,
ink?
that sounds like one too.
Ink is not.
Oh, whew.
Ink is not a filter. It actually is ink something. It's not.
Oh, well, that's not fair.
Yeah. Well, you got it right. So I don't know what you're complaining about. How many hours will someone's post appear on the Instagram story feature?
Oh, when he posts a story, 24. I know this one.
24 hours?
24 hours. 12? What?
12 hours on the story on Instagram.
That's not right. I'm sorry. That's not right.
That's
It's
not
like
right.
Snapchat. It's 24 hours and then it deletes.
Are you sure? Because I know Facebook.
110% positive.
Well,
On
then,
like the story,
how do we know any of these answers are correct then?
she's got 10,000
I don't know where you're getting
followers.
these questions.
What do hashtags represent?
What do they represent?
Oh,
Information, trend, activity, or update?
I feel like it'd be all of them. Squirrel. What do they represent? An update? I don't know.
You know this because you even said it when you were explaining hashtags. And you go to the website to figure out which ones are
trend.
which ones are trending. Absolutely. And the following features are embedded in the Explore feature, except which one? This is a little trickier. There's so much to Instagram, I think, that we're not utilizing or realize that's there. So there's this Explore feature that has these embedded.
I feel like it's going to be 3 photos created at a nearby location. Popular videos. It shows popular videos.
In the Explore?
Yeah, like it'll have like a little bubble thing of like, I don't know if it's popular videos, but it'll be like videos.
How can someone unlike a post?
Just double tap it again or click the little heart. We'll tap the like button once.
And that makes you like it, but how do you unlike a post?
You just tap it again.
See, I found this is a tricky question because I think I said hit it twice, right? Because you like it. And
right, you double tap to like, and then you double tap to unlike, or you can hit the heart once to like it, and then hit it again to unlike it.
But doesn't that just mean that you're not liking it all if you hit it twice? Like, because Facebook, you can do a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Right. Well, if you double tap a photo, it likes it.
Tap the like button once.
Yeah, so like you can double tap it to do the same thing that just tapping the little heart would do once. Hey, look at me!
And that is you. Thank you so much. We do have a question from Colette, so I want to see if you can help us with this. Colette's question was, what is the best content for millennials And how do I effectively gain followers that want to see my content?
Well, what is she like? What does she specialize in?
I believe Colette is in real estate, and she can correct me if I'm incorrect. Colette, if you are still here, will you let us know what industry you're in?
Real estate.
She's in real estate. So what's the best content for the millennials? What do you think millennials are looking at besides?
Well, quit, y'all older people need to quit posting quotes. I'm so sick and tired of hearing and seeing quotes on Instagram,
So what
especially from businesses.
What would draw you? So let's say if you were house shopping, you're looking for a house. What type of media would attract you to purchase a house? Like if you were thumbing through and you saw this particular media that caught your eye, what would that look like?
I'd say because if you're doing real estate, you're mainly posting. That was weird. You're mainly posting like pictures of the interior of houses, right?
Right.
Or apartments.
Right.
I would then say the quality of the photo, like you don't want to take it all pixelated, and like I guess a filter how it's edited, because it's gonna be like catch your eyes. And I know a lot of millennials are about like modern, so like if it's bright pictures, I feel like that would catch millennials' attention. I don't know. It's hard for real estate.
Okay, so what do you think about this? Because I know that like right now, here we are, 2019, video's hot, live video is hot. Do you think that doing a quick live stream, walking through a property, walking through a house, you know what I'm saying? And you have your phone, people get to see behind it. Would that be something that would be more enticing to you?
Well, that live streaming, it's only going to connect with our like existing followers. You can't really, it's not like you're going to live stream and then gain a whole bunch of attention from people who don't follow you.
Kind of like what we're doing here. You have to get people in to listen to you when you're streaming.
Right.
Or you can video and edit later and then put that up on your site.
Yeah,
so
sharing video.
Right, but that's still only catering to your followers.
Okay, but let's say you have a site. So I've got my Century 21, okay, and I've got a picture of the house. You click it, and then here's that video. That's my actual live walkthrough. I've seen the others and where they do the whole 360 walkthroughs, and yes, that's nice. You get to zoom in and out. As an old dude, yeah, I like that. But trying to capture that flash for a millennial, where it's like, oh my goodness, like the realtor just walked through this house. I've seen it with their phone, and now you can still go look at the pictures. Do you think that might be something that might pop a little bit more?
The video over picture.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to have pictures. Like if you're scrolling through like houses in Hillsborough hashtag. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but if you're going through a hashtag like that and you see a post that has like
a bunch hashtag. What did you say? Houses in Hillsborough?
Yeah, hashtags and location. I feel is going to be the most important. And then, because when you're scrolling through, then once you get to the hashtag houses in Hillsborough, and I'm scrolling through to find one I like, it's all going to be based on how the photo is edited and presented. So if you have a really like dark photo that's pixelated, it's not going to get my attention at all. I'm going to find a well presented picture.
So,
but it would be cool too, like if then at that point you catch my attention, and then I'm looking, like I can scroll over, and then there's a video, and then I can actually see the house. That would be cool too. But it's like that initial, like attention grabber that you want.
So another part of her question was, how does she effectively gain followers that want to see her content? I'm assuming that would be the looking at other realtors that are being successful on Instagram and figuring out what hashtags they're using.
Yeah, and how they're posting, how they're posting their content, and hashtags and location tags is really important. Because you could tag, I don't know, Hillsborough. You could not tag Hillsborough and have the location tracker of the people nearby, see your post because it's in a nearby location. But let's say somebody who's in like Portland or farther, like Texas, wants to buy a house in Hillsborough. That's where the location tags can be extremely important. So they can just go to the Hillsborough like tag.
And before I lose you, we talked about this before. You know, you've got a lot of brand interest from companies who want you to advertise their product. And you've done that, if I'm not mistaken, you've done that by tagging them in your posts. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yes and no. The most recent brands I've had come to me, they've just come to me. I never really posted about them, and I guess that's a good thing about having a lot of followers, because they'll see your follower amount and then automatically want to, advertise themselves to you and send you these brand deals. But a lot of the times, when I was telling you about this before, in your photos, you can tag people on Instagram. When you tag somebody on Instagram, and let's say somebody else is looking at that person's profile, say you tag Donald Trump, and someone's looking through his tag photos, like what are people, tagging Donald Trump in? And when you go to Instagram, like the profile on Instagram, there's like a tagged photo section, so you can see, who's tagged that person. So the photos that person's tagged in. So it's always going to be there. So if I'm a fitness person and I'm, taking a picture of what I'm wearing and I tag Lululemon, and someone's going through Lululemon's profile and they're going through the tag photos, my photo is going to show up there. So that's why I'm like, try to tag as many people as you can in your photos, because it's going to show up in their profile. Not in their feed on their profile, but within profiles there's like the feed, and I mean it might show on, it doesn't on the photo you have of me, but it'll show you your photos, and then the photos you're tagged in. So I don't know if that made any sense.
But that's
tag a lot of people.
But I see that as an opportunity of, if you're trying to be strategic to get your information in front of somebody, that would be a way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, I think that's good to know for small business owners, for sure.
Yeah, I do believe that does definitely, if you tag people that are in your similar group, even if they're not in the photo and you still tag them, that photo is going to show up in their group people. Like, it's just going to circulate around.
So,
but don't post a picture of a cat and then tag like some random actress.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right. It's got to make sense. So Jenny's asking, how many words should a hashtag be?
I don't think there's a limit to how many like characters can be in one hashtag. There might be. I've never really tested that limit. But like I said earlier,
because I think a lot of people get creative with a hashtag without realizing that really isn't going to do anything for you, because nobody knows that hashtag. They're not looking it up. So unless you're using a trending hashtag.
That's why I feel like it's really important to do one of those hashtag generators, because like I said, it's going to show the hashtags that are trending the most for whatever your topic is, and that those are going to be the most clicked hashtags, so you can get more traffic through those hashtags. If you tag something like that tree over there, hashtag that tree over there is green, who's looking that up?
Right.
So it's pointless. Nobody's looking up that hashtag.
But there are hashtags that start to trend that are odd, right? Because probably a celebrity or something started it, and it could be a long one, but it just has to be one that's trending.
It's like, there's also to a point where I'm not saying, maybe for your business this would help out a lot. So like how you would tag like hashtag CMK connections. So let's say someone in the future, they like CMK connections, and then they search on Instagram CMK connections. You'll have posts within your hashtags. Then like your search will come up, and there are certain hashtags you can get away with. Like I guarantee if I posted CMK connections on one of my pictures, there's not going to be a lot of photos under that. But you can also use that as a tool. Like you can use it for you, not against you.
Well, I've kind of found it to also be for me almost like a directory if I want to find one of my posts, right? This works.
Right.
I feel this works more for Facebook, because if I put I put hashtag #GotCMK on a lot of stuff, and that helps me if I want to find a post. I just search, hashtag #GotCMK, and anything that I put that on there comes back up. And it's the same thing as if anybody actually wants to look that up, then they're going to see all of that content. Versus if I didn't put that on each and every one, they'd only see the ones that have that. They wouldn't see the whole gamut of posts with that hashtag, correct?
Right.
So it's a way to make sure that, you put up a post and you want people to see it, but you also want them to see that your book of business, right? Everything that you've posted, because something might catch their eye even more so to draw them in to do business with you. So for me, even though I try to use trending hashtags, I'm also using a particular hashtag, which is the GotCMK, so that all of my content has that marker on there and will come up if somebody actually decides they want to look that up.
Exactly. So that's why I feel like if you have a business, maybe doing hashtag and then your business name would be good to have on every single post. And that would be a hashtag you'd actually put within your description, not in the comments, because you don't want to delete that later.
Right.
So like, whereas the hashtags in your comments are those like quick trending hashtags where you can delete them later. If you have a hashtag where you want your photo to always show up within that hashtag for like ever, you want to put that in your description. But you want to limit that to like 1 or 2 hashtags.
Right. Don't really abuse it. And then, like you're saying, I've seen posts, and I completely concur with you. When I see 25 hashtags on something, I see the picture, but I get bored with it. It's like you're overdoing it. If you keep it simple, keep it down to a half a dozen real clean keywords, that it's going to get more traction than using 1,000 of them out there.
Well, and that's where it comes into play, where you're putting it in the comment, right? Because you're not driving them nuts in the actual post, the post comment that you're putting up, but you're actually adding an additional comment that just has hashtags in it. And that's kind of that address marker for anybody that's searching. So you're not driving the people that are wanting to look at, what are you writing about your post? They're not like going crazy about seeing all of that. It's just a way to add that in and like I said, mark your post so that they're finding that. Judy's asking, is it just as effective to use the hashtags in Facebook and in LinkedIn, or is it just beneficial in Instagram? I think we just kind of talked to that. It's really kind of a marker for people who are searching to be able to find your content, either because they're looking for a particular trend or topic, or because they like your stuff or they're interested in your stuff and they want to see more about it. So I would say my vote would be absolutely, you're going to use hashtags on absolutely anything that you can put them on if the platform allows it.
Actually, it's every platform. And Twitter was really the first one to come out with hashtags. And from there, it bled out to everything. Everybody's using it. Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, Google+, and Pinterest. You can even
We're boring.
Got like a wave of tiredness.
You just came from the gym. We appreciate you coming on to enlighten us with all of this Instagram information. So some social media, we're going to jump into the next segment, and I appreciate if you hang out just for a little bit longer to give your feedback on some of these. So social media etiquette mistakes you don't realize that you're making regarding being online. And this, I believe there's some hashtagging in here. Tagging friends without asking. What's your opinion of that?
It's the same what I said about tagging as many people as you can. I mean, if you tag somebody and they don't want you tagged, then there's an option where they can just untag themselves from the photo. So so
you're saying, because this is saying social etiquette, don't do it. Don't be tagging friends without asking them if it's okay to tag them.
Okay. On Instagram, I'm saying for Instagram, tag as many people as you can, and then they can untag themselves if they don't want to be tagged. Facebook's different. I get annoyed real fast when I'm tagged as some random, like, tag 50 friends if you want to win this thing, or who has friends like this, and then they tag their whole friends list, and it's like this post doesn't even, like, I don't know. I'm not on Facebook enough to know if you can delete it as easily as you can on Instagram.
I would imagine because Facebook is more friends and family for the most part, so you might not want them to know everything, whereas Instagram really is about growing a brand, and you want to have as much attention as you can get. Complaining about your job on social media. I don't think people do that on Instagram.
You got to be, not on Instagram, but you got to be kind of stupid to do that.
Right, especially in this day and age. What was it I just saw? Was it you, Lenny, that shared it about how credit they're using for your credit? If they're looking up your credit, they're going to start looking at your social media.
just posted that today. They're right, as immigrations and visas, they're starting to look at 5 years of your social media. Yeah, it's starting, and so just remember, everyone, you heard it here first. I've been talking about this for months, where it's so important to keep your karma clean, keep your social clean, because whatever you posted recently may come back and bite you. So be really careful. And the way I see it, projecting into the future, the way that social is growing, that it is going to be just as important as it is credit scores. They're going to look at your credit score, and they're going to look at your social, and they're going to say, well, gee, I don't know if I'm going to loan you any money because you look a little reckless here in this video.
Right. I mean, weed is legal, right? But should you be posting pictures and your daily activities with it? Because it's going to really come back to haunt you, putting it out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's falling asleep. Posting too frequently is social media etiquette. No, and so what I heard with Instagram is, as long as you're making sure that the content that you're posting, is
relevant.
It's not the same thing. It's, which yours is constantly pretty much the same thing, because you're lifting something or
right.
But making
just
sure
don't post twice a day.
Sure that you're staggering it, right? So you're not like you can see in your picture, you've got some of your car in there. So making sure that you're adding some.
Oh yeah, you don't want your feed to just look like the same picture 80 times.
Right.
But also don't.
Forcing a connection is bad etiquette. Oversharing your personal information. I don't know who does that. That's kind of stupid. Announcing you're cleaning up your friends list. I totally hate that. I really wish people would stop doing that. Oh my gosh. Like if you still want to be on my friends list, post, or make a comment if you want me to keep you, kind of crap. And my comment is always, get rid of me if you'd like to. If that's what it is.
Cry for attention.
I don't need to beg to stay around. So please, people, stop doing that. Asking or begging for followers. Do people do that? They actually have you asked for people to follow you? Please follow me.
No.
They call it pandering.
I haven't really begged either.
Pandering, right.
Bragging. Hashtags already take care of that.
Right. Bragging or showing off. Talking about your business venture on Facebook, I think that's we all understand that there's a way to kind of share what you do because it's a passion in your life. And then there's a way to feel like you're constantly selling people, and you have to be careful.
Or bragging.
You're not crossing that line. Bragging about your business.
Yeah.
And then forgetting to write back. So I think that's huge when it comes to engagement online, is making sure that you are engaging, right? People are commenting on your post. You should be engaging back with them in some way, because otherwise people are going to stop showing up. I mean, we all get excited if we go to somebody's page who, is some form of a celebrity status, and then they respond back to us like that's the biggest, coolest thing ever. And even if you don't think that you are at that level, it still means something when somebody took the time to actually stop and make a comment on your post for you to actually put something back, even if it's just that you like that they commented on your post. So I think that engagement is huge and important, that people start realizing that they need to do that, to have that engagement interaction.
What's really cool about comments too, especially on Instagram, is the more comments that show up in your post, is how much more impressions you'll get. And that's what's going to determine if your picture shows up in the For You or like trending page and stuff like that. So even if you comment and contribute to the comments on your post, it's still giving you a better chance of your photo showing up for other people.
Right.
So you want a lot of comments. I'm not saying go to your posts and just start commenting random crap, but like you want to respond to people who comment.
Absolutely. And I always share with people, this is how you get people to how you get your information in front of more people, right? Because the algorithm with Facebook, and I don't think that it's any different with Instagram. I'm not sure. But the way that Facebook works is that when you start to, you have particular people you follow, I think it's like 18 people that you can follow. But if you're commenting and engaging with Susie Moore, and she's not one you're particularly following, her content is going to come up in your feed, because Facebook's going to going to be saying, well, you actually like Susie, so we're going to give you more Susie's stuff. So if you have a large following on Facebook, say 3,000 people, and you're like, and people get upset about the fact that you can only follow 18. Well, the fact is you can't have 3,000 people's posts coming through your feed. It's just not going to happen. So if you want to engage with Jim, who you haven't heard from in a while, you have to comment, like, share. You have to have an interaction with him to be able to have that happen. And the more that you can spread that out, so find people that you haven't interacted with and keep that going, the more your information is getting into their following. And if they share something, you're getting into a new area versus sharing with the same 5 people, is kind of how I feel about that.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. Does anybody have any last questions really quickly for Emily regarding Instagram and using it as she falls out of her car?
As I threw my phone.
Nice.
Don't worry about it.
Judy says engagement on Facebook helps your feed become more visible to the public. Also, hitting the heart instead of the like will get a higher algorithm. I have heard that lately, making sure that you're hitting the heart instead of the thumbs up, which I don't know. Just it depends on who you're commenting with and how they're going to take your heart over a like. But if it's going to get you more visibility and get that algorithm going, then you absolutely want to do it. Jenny says, if I'm just getting started, how much should I start with? I don't want to be obnoxious. So if she's posting on Instagram, and I think you elaborated a little bit to that, what should she be doing?
Like
posting.
Well, post once a day. Like, it's going to be a slow start if you're just starting now, but you don't be one of those pages where it's like day one that the page has been up and you already have like 50 posts.
Like that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a drip process, right? You're dripping content.
Right. And what I also find really helps, and sometimes it's hit or miss. Is she okay? I find it hit or miss sometimes is that, let's say since I post gym content, I'll go through the gym hashtag and just like a whole crap ton of photos that are in that hashtag. So those people are getting likes on their picture, but your profile is then showing up, I like their profile, so then my like is showing up in their feed, and then they might be more inclined to click on my profile and then maybe follow me. So it's happened a few times where I've gained quite a few followers just by like going through hashtags and liking a whole bunch of pictures.
And what's your take on, there's so many questions we can ask. And what's your take on, I'm following 5,000 people and 20 people are following me?
That's one, those profiles kind of irritate me.
So
it's like they have like 10,000 followers, but they're following 8,000 people. It's like, I'm more of like a follow for follow.
Because what I'm saying is a lot of small business owners will start on Instagram and they just start following a ton of people, which I get, but the conversion's not there. So when I look at their profile, I see that they're following 5,000 people, but 50 people are following them. So it's my opinion that you want a good balance of those numbers. So it looks like you're interesting and not you're following a ton of people and people just don't think you're that interesting.
Right, because it comes across as like this person just followed a whole bunch of people to get followers, and then I'm not going to follow them back because they didn't follow me because they like my page.
Right. Well,
I feel like I've gotten pretty proud at how my page looks because, I'm sitting there at 10K followers and I'm only following like a couple hundred people. So that's what you ultimately want it to look like.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I don't want to keep you here till you fall asleep because that would be bad. So you're free to stick around as we go into our poll, or you can say goodbye, but I really appreciate you being here to answer these questions, and maybe we'll be able to have you back again. We've had some, maybe before the gym, before you tire yourself out.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go and get something to eat and away from my car where people are walking around.
Perfect. Thank you, Emily.
Thanks for joining me.
All right, bye.
Bye.
How do I end this?
How do I go away?
How do I go away? Yeah, that's funny.
How do I go away? So it's just crazy. It's just crazy how quickly you can grow a following and then have things happen. She's getting so many free product from companies that see her fitness and want her, right, to hold their, their what do you call it, the mixer bottle or what have you,
right,
or phone cases. She's had companies send her free phone cases that are like, and they'll send her an invoice that like $40 zeroed out, and they'll send her this stuff. And this is what happens when you actually start really utilizing that platform. Works for her, industry. It depends on what you're doing.
of course.
We're going to go ahead and
we got one more question
okay.
before we get into that.
Sure.
So Judy asked us, does anyone leave a hashtag in a comment that they leave for someone else so you can hashtag on someone else's post?
So you're saying on somebody else's post, you're commenting and leaving a hashtag that could draw people to their post because you're so supportive, which I know that you are.
Yeah, it's not a practice that I do. It's, if I'm commenting, I'm not going to go ahead and comment my stuff on my own and then leave a hashtag.
So, I mean, if I'm understanding that question correctly, Judy, that's what you're asking, is whether or not you're leaving a hashtag on somebody else's post when you comment. I mean, it's great, and it's a way to be supportive to get more people to view their post, and I'm sure that the algorithm would pick that up. So that hashtag, whether it's in a comment on a post or not. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look into that to see if that draws more attention.
And I'll on straight out posts, I will sometimes put in a grow on social hashtag along with the CMK hashtag and integrate those. But as far as going into another comment to do that, it's almost like going in and throwing in a link to something on a comment to say, oh, if you're interested in this, follow this link.
Right. I guess it would depend on the intent of the hashtag.
It's the intent. I think that's probably the best answer. It really is the intent. If you see something that is inspirational and it's Monday and you want to comment in there that really motivated me, hashtag motivational Monday, that's great, because now you're going to take that original feed, you're going to push that into the motivational Monday. So whoever's searching for that's going to pop in. So it's all about intent, really, is what that would be the best answer.
So we are at 8:00. We did a whole hour.
Where did it go?
All of that. We're going to do a quick poll. I so appreciate everybody that's actually logged in and has been an audience with us through this. We did this first episode just kind of free for all for everybody to look at. I'm going to leave it open for the replay till Thursday. And we're going to do a poll right now. So anybody that participates in the poll, whether you are watching it live now or you through till Thursday, I'm going to draw a name. I'm going to put all those names in a hat. Anybody that participates in the poll, I'm going to put those names in a hat. And then on Friday, I'm going to do a live video in the Grow On Social Facebook group and announce who that winner is. And that winner is actually going to get 3 free months of Grow On Social and have access to the site and our content and all of our social media conversation and all of that, as well as future episodes of the Connie and Lenny Show. I know that next week we have Jenny Holman, who's actually a guest here on our show today. She's going to be with us next week sharing her business, and I look forward to having that conversation with her. I know. And so let's put the poll up. Fantastic. So, and just for those, so you understand how this works, growonsocial.com is going to be membership only access. It is $15 a month. And you will get to see all of our episodes that we're doing here. And you'll also, like I said, I'll have training videos on different platforms. And I'll really be using CMK members, by the way. Anybody that's in this group that's a CMK member, you'll get access to that for free. So our marketing members get access to growonsocial.com for free. So this isn't you. It's anybody else that's not a part of CMK, but wants to get access to this great training on, again, the engagement and learning, kind of like Emily was sharing with Instagram. You know, people get so caught up in the perfect picture and all of that when there's other areas, not to say that that's not important, great photos. But sometimes there's other areas of platforms that are really important for us to know how to use, especially like the hashtags. So yeah, and I think that's. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Well, that was so informative, and I knew that she would have a ton of information when it comes to Instagram, because she's just blown it up, and I'm just so proud. And anybody that doesn't know, which I think everybody probably does know, Emily is my daughter, and I just have to plug that because I'm proud of her. But yeah, I mean, she's got the numbers, and she's working it, and it's great, and she's a huge resource, definitely a huge resource for that.
Definitely. And so we spoke about Instagram. We will be talking about a lot of the other platforms. We'll be talking about Facebook, to tie into Instagram and Facebook and other platforms, of course, because it is all about social media. This is the hottest thing that's going on right now to grow your business. So, you know, get on the train today, because it's just going to keep going forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
you have to be, especially if you're in business. You have to use social media in some form, on some platform. You have to be using it. You have to be getting your toes wet for sure.
Yeah. So it's if you're not comfortable, and everyone's different. If you're not comfortable with the camera, if you're a writer, then write. If you're a photographer, take pictures. But be active on social, because this is really growing. It's still just scratching the surface. As long as some of these platforms have been around, they were taking baby steps, but it is peaking now, and it's just going to keep growing and keep going forward. So it's imperative to get on that now. Establish yourself as a brand now, because when things change, if you're not on that today, you're going to get lost in the dust. Trust me on this. So the change is happening. I'm glad that you're with us to learn how to be part of that change.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that all of it? Is it time to wrap it up?
I think it is. Thank you, everybody that joined us. Please share this. This particular show is, you can share the link to anybody that wants to watch the replay and wants to participate and learn about what we're doing here. It's a huge opportunity. And anybody that's not a part of CMK but still wants to be a part of Grow on Social so that you can watch these, you can go to growonsocial.com and join us there. But wait until Friday, because you might win, because we're doing this poll thing. So you might be the winner, and that would be great. And I'm gonna send a little goodie as well to the winner, because I like to do that. I like to give things. So thank you so much, guys. And I look forward to seeing most of you. I think are going to be on some future shows. So that's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I think so too.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Take care.
Connie and Lenny show. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in today. It certainly was a great show. Had a great guest. Looking forward to having some of you on as guests as well. Connie and Lenny show. Growonsocial.com. Check us out. Become part of that. I'm Lenny Ledger. Connie Marie with us. We are Grow on Social. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.